I'm back with another triggering topic. I want y'all to look at this clip, and I'll be right back.
You're very, very cute. You know this, right?
Do you have a boyfriend? That should be great. Like, I deserve you.
Maybe you do deserve me. Maybe you do. I feel like you might deserve me for a couple of minutes.
That's probably all it would take.
And they brought you because you cute, girl. You fine as a motherfucker. You pretty ass girl. Got that big hair. Last time I seen hair like that, it was Khalees saying, "I hate you so much right now." You ain't saying that.
Now, I happened to be online scrolling, and I ran across this clip of 50 Cent speaking with Chelsea Handler, and you see how aggressive she was? Was she giving submissive vibes? Y'all let me know. But, what really shocked me was 50 Cent's demeanor, his way of speaking to her. Like, he was almost borderline submissive. Like, I noticed that he didn't have the arrogant tone in his voice that I've seen manifest when he talks to Black women. His voice and the way he was speaking was giving very much code switching. He knows how to address Mrs. Massa. And, she mentioned that after this whole thing that he was sending hundreds of roses to her office and really trying to pursue her, and they eventually did end up dating. And then when she was talking about their breakup, she mentioned that it happened because he had mentioned something about Sierra to her and that Sierra was still calling him or something like that. And it's really insane to me that a man could go from this to this and really think that he upgraded. But I digress. But this is what I really want y'all to see this clip as well. This is what she said exactly about 50 Cent after their breakup.
A bunch of flowers.
Yeah.
This is how it started. He sent me flowers. He was on my show, and he was cute. I flirted with all the cute guys on my show, and I thought he was just adorable.
Right.
And then he started sending me flowers, and I was like, but ridiculous amounts of 50 white roses, and it was laughable. I'm like, get these out of my office. This is so embarrassing.
Right.
Then he started to call my office, and my assistant was like, okay, 50 Cent is calling, and I swear I think it is him. And I'm like, oh my god.
Liked you.
So I got on the phone, and he's like, and he's very much just he talks. He's not a grammatical genius, so
Yeah, right.
it's kind of silly because I'm like, this is so stupid. He's like,
Can you go out with a guy who doesn't know grammar?
No, I can't. I
Right.
mean, you should
I
have
mean-
seen some of the texts he used to send me. I was like, oh my god.
Were you correcting the spelling?
No, I
and
didn't even
wanting-
bother. I'm like, as if he's all of a sudden going to get an education now. You text me first. First, he sent me all these flowers. Right? He kept calling my office, and I just kept saying, I'm out. I'm not telling him I'm not here.
Right.
Finally, I picked up the phone, and I'm like, what's up? And he said, hi. I really like to. He said some silly line, but it was very cute, and I was like, oh, he's sweet. He's not carrying a gun right now. We dated.
fucking
Yeah, we had
did.
sex, and my friends all loved him. My friends fell in love with him
Wow.
because they were just this guy is this huge gangster guy who's the sweetest.
Who are your friends?
Just a bunch of people
No,
that
no,
I've
no
collected
one-
over the years in New York. He would come with me to a lot of shows, he'd come and meet me in a lot of places. And so so we went to Anguilla. Or no, right before Anguilla, this girl, Ciara, that's her name.
Ciara. Okay, yeah.
She was coming on the show, and he called me to tell me something about her. She still calls him all the time, and she's still in love with him or something. And I was at my job, and I go, Curtis, honestly, this is 8th grade shit.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't, what is this? Why are you telling me this? This girl's coming on my show tomorrow. Now I have to look at her and think that your guys have some weird thing going on or had going. I'm like, I don't. So you're telling me this girl wants to get back together with you, but she's upset that you're dating me. Is that what you're saying? He's like, yeah. So I just want you to know when she comes that she's after. And I was like, okay. I think I called him. Whatever I called him was probably the worst thing you could say to a black person, short of calling him the N-word. I said something it was really, really offensive, and I hung up on him, and I never spoke to him. I said, when I told my friends what I said, they're like, you will never hear from this. Is a proud black man who you just basically tore apart and put to shame, and totally insulted him. And I don't remember the term I used, but it was equivalent to saying you're a street person.
Right. Did you say you're ghetto or something?
Something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like
I
that.
said you have no business even talking to someone like me, and it was very mean.
Now, you notice that she said that she called him something very close to the N-word, and her friends told her that because of what she said that she would probably never hear from him again. But I think that they may not even be aware of the disrespect that black men will tolerate from white women. But anyway, she also called him uneducated and put him down in a lot of different ways. And I believe that she knows exactly what she said to him. But let me show y'all a clip from last year.
And I said, jokingly, I'm ready to get back together or possibly go for another spin. I know this is a morning show, so I won't go too deep into that. And he was like, hey, were you serious about what you wrote about us getting back together? And I was like, yeah, totally. I'm open to anything, buddy. So who knows? Maybe I'll get back together with 50. He actually got a kick out of me. He gets my humor, and he likes it and finds it attractive and not a turnoff.
Now you see that even though she disrespected him racially, he's still talking to her and asked her if she was serious about them dating again. And you know what? When I went down this rabbit hole that is 50 Cent and Chelsea Handler, it really made me understand something. Like, you hear a lot of black men talk about black women's attitudes, or that black women are behaving this way or that way to them. They're not supporting them or giving them understanding. But then they will turn right around and don't require any of that from a white tea woman or a non-black woman. Now, because I'm going to let y'all know, you tell me if you see what I see, but you can tell Chelsea Handler ain't doing none of that. And one of my biggest problems with this whole situation, in my opinion, is that black men approach non-black women differently than they do the women in their own communities. And if we're talking about white tea women specifically, in my opinion, black men move in a submissive space when it comes to them. They're more willing to put up with disrespect, more willing to put up abuse, more willing to give them grace and come back time and time again and not say, oh, it's all white tea women doing this, that, and the third. And it's like, you know how they have all of these standards on what a black woman should look like, how her hair should be. She's got to be absolutely stunning to get with them. Her body needs to be tea, but then turn around and get with a white tea woman that looks like this? Huh? Voice different, attitude different, willing to come to the table with money for these non-black women, but then want to offer the black woman none of that. And that is seriously one of the biggest problems and the reasons why black men and black women relations with each other will not improve collectively, because of the mentality, and I guess really the mentality and the thought process of the collective of black men, because what they are doing is, when they are in these scenarios, they are worshiping whiteness. And it's just that simple. And, you know, this is another topic, but I feel like it goes right hand in hand. This is the reason why I will forever have an issue with the type of divestors that put white tea men on a pedestal. Because they are mad at black men. Because, cool, divest away from black men, that's not a problem. But the divestors that put white tea men on a pedestal because you're mad at what black men do, honestly, it is the same sickness that these black men have. It's just a different causation. The one with black men is because the black man has been successfully buck broken and mentally destroyed. And now they have truly internalized and believe the brainwashing that white tea people and white tea women have brainwashed them to believe that they are superior, and that having children and relations with white tea women will erase the parts of them that they hate. Now, the other sickness on the other side that's displayed by some black women is it's birthed from the disappointment that black women have with black men, the lack of loyalty, the lack of protection that black men have displayed towards black women consistently for decades upon decades upon decades upon decades. It's birthed from the harm that black men have caused black women. It is birthed from hatred. But, you know, regardless on if one is justified or not, because I would be crazy if I could say that I don't understand why certain black women feel the way they do about the collective of black men, because I understand, I see it, I get it. That's not something that I can argue against because it's the truth. However, though, the worshiping of whiteness is harmful to black people in general, male or female, adult or child. But, you know, I digress because I don't want to go too deep into that. But I'll just say that seeing a black man with privilege, with fame, with money, still behaving like a buck broken buffoon, it makes me truly realize that if a man has everything that life has to offer and he still can't fix or unpack his anti-blackness and his glorification of whiteness, if a black man who is obviously smart enough to be in the 1%, if he can't see what is so very clearly obvious, what hope is there for the collective of black men? But you know what? That's just food for thought. I digress. If you watch this whole video, Hey, I really appreciate it. You're a real one. Do me a favor and drop a 22 in the comments. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because glorifying whiteness, no matter who is doing it, no matter what the reason is, it is boo, boo. And if you don't agree, argue with your mammy. All right. And if you cannot donate to my Cash App above to help support the channel, that's no problem at all. Just do your girl a free favor. Follow me on TikTok. You'll love it there. Follow me on YouTube, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my new uploads. And as always, ladies, I love to hear from y'all. So please drop your thoughts, comments, and feelings down below.